Hello and welcome to the next episode of the Explained series with the host, Dr. Brett Palmer. And this week we'll be looking at lichen simplex explained. So what is lichen simplex? Well, it is quite simply a localized area of chronic eczema or dermatitis, if you like. And there may be a single lesion or there may be multiple plaques. And it's usually very, very intensely itchy. And if it's there for a long time, they stick on the word chronicus at the end, so it's just called LSC, or lichen simplex chronicus. Now, anogenital lichen simplex chronicus, because it's quite commonly found around the genitals, around the anus, or in the perineum, which is the bit between the genitals and the anus, and it's estimated to occur about 0.5% in Western Europe or North American populations. The peak incidence of lichen simplex chronicus is between 35 and 50 years of age, and the condition is also more common in women with a female to male ratio of 2.1. It can present in any sex at any age really, and it can occur during childhood where it's more commonly in boys, but again lichen chronicus or lichen simplexes tends to be quite rare in children, or not commonly seen in children. It's more commonly seen in adults. So what are the causes of it? Well, the primary itch can be due to all sorts of things. So insect bite, fungal infection, atopic or contact eczema or psoriasis, neuropathy, which is obviously common in those people who have neuropathy. Neuropathy themselves isn't necessarily common, but it's becoming more common if you have peripheral neuropathy due to, for example, diabetes. But it's more common to have some other problem causing the lichen simplex. However, you can have primary lichen simplex, and there is no underlying problem, if you like. There's an absence of primary psoriatic cutaneous disorder, and the major triggering events are environmental, in terms of a very dry household or too much central heating, that kinds of stuff, or it can be psychological. Obviously, if it's a secondary cause of lichen simplex, then that's where all the other causes come in terms of allergic contact dermatitis, bites, thrush, viral warts, for example, and all these sorts of other bits and pieces. You can have systemic conditions that can also cause pruritus, renal failure, or other obstructive biliary disease, Hodgkin's lymphoma. Just because you've been diagnosed with lichen simplex doesn't mean you've got any of these problems, because it's more, chances are it's just primary lichen simplex. So what is it about the itch itself? Well, usually you get this itch which you just need to scratch, because the itch is so wonderfully itchy, and if you scratch it, the relief is instantaneous and it feels wondrously lovely to scratch it. That feeling lasts for about 1 or 2 seconds, and then the itch comes again, and so you scratch again. And it's usually this episode of itchiness comes, and it's usually have a tense rubbing and scratching, which is wonderful, and then you do it again, and then you do it again. And sometimes it can happen at night when you don't realize it and you're asleep and you're not sure what's going on. And so sometimes a partner of someone who has lichen simplex will say, "Oh, you're scratching last night again." Occasionally there can be an underlying history of depression or OCD, or sometimes it can happen if there's increased physiological stresses, for example, or psychological stresses, for example, family illnesses. And so I wouldn't be surprised if lichen simplex is becoming more popular or becoming more common because of the various lockdowns that are happening all over the world. And so how can it present? Well, in men you can have an itchy scrotum. In women you'll have labia majora usually. All around the vulva you can have altered pigmentations, and you'll have a little bit of lines, and the sites where the skin folds are will be exaggerated. You have something called lichenified skin, or basically the skin looks quite leathery. You can have in other areas as well, on the occipital genital scalp and also around the anus. And it tends to be areas which are on the non-dominant side. So if you're right-handed, all the other bits and pieces could be on your left arm, for example, or left leg. Obviously, the vulva or the scrotum in men or the anus is obviously in the middle. So that probably doesn't count. And so, as I said, you can get the clinical features tend to be exaggerated skin markings, dry, scaly surface, and it gives a leathery appearance. You also have broken off hairs because you're scratching all the time, scratch marks, obviously, pigmentation, hyper or hypopigmentation, in other words, more pigmentation or less pigmentation, and the location, as I said, scrotum or vulva, wrists, forearms, lower legs, sometimes the neck or the scalp can also occur. So this is what Lichen simplex looks like. As you can see, it's like an area slightly broken down skin marks and sort of like a strange sort of discoloured with a little bit of, this is normal skin coloured, but it can be pigmented skin markings as well. And you can have little fissures and sometimes it can bleed. If you scratch it that much, it will actually bleed. So how's it diagnosed? Well, to be honest with you, clinical appearance by the history is how it's diagnosed, but sometimes you have to rule out fungal infections, so skin scrapings to rule out fungal infections, sometimes a skin biopsy if it's a little bit confusing, and if there's an absence of an unknown underlying skin condition, then maybe you may want to consider, depending on what the examination findings show, some kind of neuropathy, especially if there's a history of spinal injury or other form of disease. In severe cases, you can do things like spinal imaging for x-rays, CT, MRI scans, or electrophysiological nerve conduction studies. But to be honest with you, all of that stuff tends to be very, very unhelpful. Usually it's purely just lichen simplex, and so you diagnose it and you treat it. So how do you treat it? Well, you need to treat the underlying cause if there is one. So if there is a fungal infection, you need to get rid of it. It's as simple as that. If there's psoriasis or some other eczema condition, you need to treat that as well. And sometimes you can also give tricyclic antidepressants, and sometimes this helps for sleeping, as well as taking away sometimes the itch. But if someone's depressed, then they obviously need treatment for that as well. In terms of how you treat the basic lichen simplex in itself, you have to break the itch scratch cycle. There's no way of doing it. And so potent topical steroids until the plaque is resolved. And that, depending on what type of steroid you have, it can be either twice a day or 3 times a day. If it's a very potent steroid, you only use it once a day. And so your doctor will advise you, or a pharmacist will advise you how best to use it. But usually 4 to 6 weeks until the plaque has resolved. And then you step down gradually on the frequency of the steroids, or you reduce the potency, and that is called, if you stop it immediately, it will come back and may bounce back. And so if you're using it 3 times a day, then twice a day for a few weeks, then once a day for a few weeks, and you gradually wean yourself off of the topical steroids. For severe cases, some people get a steroid injection every 3 to 4 weeks, and obviously there are other preparations which I don't use. So I don't use coal tar preparations, I leave that to the dermatologists, but what I do use is moisturizers, and that can leave dryness and help reduce the desire to scratch. Cooling creams containing methanol also help as well, but some very basic measures like cutting the fingernails as short as possible, and also wearing very loose clothing to allow the air to circulate. Okay, so here are some of the great websites I've used to put this website together, and I'll draw your attention to dermnetnz.org, which is a very good dermatological website, as well as bestpractice.bmj, which tends to be aimed at doctors. And obviously up-to-date research is from the PubMed website. So thank you very much for watching. Please like, subscribe and share, and hopefully see you at the next episode. Take care. Goodbye.